event, we're gonna be working on floor work. So make sure that you have a really, really wide open space to do a lot of these movements in. You can do them outside in a grassy area. You can do them like I'm doing in my living room. I even put down a mat for myself so I can focus on some of these movements. Or you can do them on a carpeted or rug area. Wherever you have space that you're not gonna hit anything and hurt yourself with, okay? So make sure you have plenty of room. Whenever you start these movements, start off with your salute. So your salute feet are gonna be super, super close together. Your arms are gonna create this high V motion and we're gonna push your chest forward and out. So from the side, really, really lift through your body and throw your arms back behind your head as much as you can, okay? So this is your salute. So starting with our salute, when you get into your postures, we're gonna go into a somersault. So your somersault, hands are gonna come up overhead. We're gonna come into a baby tuck. So bend your knees, lift your heels off the floor and touch the floor. From here, make sure that you tuck your chin towards your chest. So you're gonna round up in this little ball. From here, rolling forward, making sure that you're getting that momentum. Stand up as much as you can. Arms go straight back overhead. So again, lift, bend through your knees, touch the floor, tuck your chin towards your chest, and you're gonna roll up it. Try to lift up as much as you can. So one of your moves to get into other movements during a floor exercise is called a hurdle step. Think of the hurdle step as the step that you are getting into, whether it be to get into a handstand or get into a cartwheel. So I'm actually going to show these to you from the front first, and then I'll do them to the side. So depending on what side you feel comfortable with, it's just the foot that is going to go forward first. So from here, I'm gonna think of taking a step with my right foot, think of skipping with your left so it comes up, and then that same foot comes down. So it's a baby lift and a hop to get you forward. So again, if you're coming from the right side, you're gonna go left, jump, and step out of it, okay? So the side from that direction, think right, left, down. And you can take those arms into a swinging motion or a running motion depending on what your next movement's gonna be. The other side looks just the same, except for you're gonna step with your left foot, kind of get that high skip with your right, and then it presses down on your way forward. So again, that goes left, step, come out of it. Again, you can move those arms up or more into a running position. So that foot again goes step, lift, and then that next step is what's going to get you into your next move. A third movement that you can perform into your floor exercise is a cartwheel. So cartwheel is basically like a huge X position, only we're gonna go upside down. So into these motions, my biggest thing is act like you're stuck between two walls. So when your body's to the side, make sure that you can reaching really tall with your hands and pressing your feet away from you as well. That way your body's not rounding or curving, because that'll make your cartwheels super, super, super strong, okay? So I'm gonna attempt to show you both sides. I'm a little bit more right side dominant, so it might look a little prettier. So from here, again, we're gonna go point, arms are gonna be up overhead. Again, make sure you have enough space, so that way you know that you're gonna be able to reach those long, pretty legs that way. So arms are gonna come up overhead, you're gonna point through that front foot, you're gonna lead your body going into a side bend position, and you're gonna press your hands to the floor, and then come out the other side. So I'm on this side, I'll show you the left side, so same thing. Arms are gonna come up overhead, you're gonna strong point through that left foot, think of side bending into that body, and you're gonna take off, going towards that other side. So really think of firmly planting your hands through that floor and pointing and reaching your feet up towards the ceiling. Practicing on both sides so you can figure out what side feels more comfortable to you, and then you can put them together. So, a tiptoe turn. I want you to think of like you're trying to be super, super sneaky. So you're gonna lift your heels off the ground, because you know if you step with your toes, You sound super quiet, okay? But same thing as all these motions, just think tall and think strong. Your arm position can be wherever's easiest for you. So if you want to keep them out, you want to keep them in first position or fifth position. First or fifth is like you're holding a beach ball. Your arms are rounded but super strong at the same time. So from here, feet are going to be close together. Arms are going to be in those positions, whatever feels more comfortable. And I want you to think of staying really super soft and quiet. And you're going to stay high up on your toes. And you're just going to form a baby circle underneath yourself. Yes? So whatever side you want to go to, left or right, just stay high, 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 up onto those toes. And then when you're ready, just drop back down to your heels. And of course, what would gymnastics be without a handstand? So a couple of tips that I'm going to show you how to get into your handstand if you've never done one before, or if these are super easy for you, these are small tips and tricks that you can continuously practice that'll just make you even that much more stronger and efficient. So again, if you have a mat or something, even if you don't, find something that's soft, like a blanket, maybe a towel, and I'm actually going to push my mat against a wall, okay? And then I'll show you what these look like onto the floor as well. So one of your moves to get into other movements during a floor exercise is called a hurdle step. Think of the hurdle step as the step that you are getting into, whether it be to get into a handstand or get into a cartwheel. So I'm actually going to show these to you from the front first, and then I'll do them to the side. So depending on what side you feel comfortable with, it's just the foot that is going to go forward first. So from here, I'm going to think of taking a step with my right foot, think of skipping with your left so it comes up, and then that same foot comes down. So it's a baby lift and a hop to get you forward. So again, if you're coming from the right side, you're going to go left, jump, and step out of it. Okay, so the side from that direction, think right, left, down. And you can take those arms into a swinging motion or a running motion depending on what your next movement's going to be. The other side looks just the same, except for you're going to step with your left foot, kind of get that high skip with your right, and then it presses down on your way forward. So again, that goes left, step, come out of it. Again, you can move those arms up or more into a running position. So that foot again goes step, lift, and then that next step is what's going to get you into your next move. A third movement that you can perform into your floor exercise is a cartwheel. So cartwheel is basically like a huge X position, only we're gonna go upside down. So into these motions, my biggest thing is act like you're stuck between two walls. So when your body's to the side, make sure that you can reaching really tall with your hands and pressing your feet away from you as well. That way your body's not rounding or curving, because that'll make your cartwheels super, super, super strong. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to show you both sides. I'm a little bit more right side dominant, so it might look a little prettier. So from here, again, we're gonna go point, arms are gonna be up overhead. Again, make sure you have enough space, so that way you know that you're gonna be able to reach those long, pretty legs out there. So arms are gonna come up overhead, you're gonna point through that front foot, you're gonna lead your body going into a side bend position, and you're gonna press your hands to the floor, and then come out the other side. So I'm on this side, I'll show you the left side. So same thing, arms are gonna come up overhead, you're gonna strong point through that left foot, think of side bending into that body, and you're gonna take off, going towards that other side. So really think of firmly planting your hands through that floor and pointing and reaching your feet up towards the ceiling. Practice them on both sides so you can figure out what side feels more comfortable to you, and then you can put them together. So a tiptoe turn. I want you to think of like you're trying to be super, super sneaky. So you're gonna lift your heels off the ground, because you know if you step with your toes, you sound super quiet, okay? But same thing as all these motions, just think tall and think strong. Your arm position can be wherever's easiest for you. So if you want to keep them out, you want to keep them in first position or fifth position. First or fifth is like you're holding a beach ball. Your arms are rounded but super strong at the same time. So from here, feet are going to be close together. Arms are going to be in those positions, whatever feels more comfortable. And I want you to think of staying really super soft and quiet. And you're going to stay high up on your toes. And you're just going to form a baby circle underneath yourself. Yes? So whatever side you want to go to, left or right, just say hi, 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 up onto those toes, and then when you're ready, just drop back down to your heels. And of course, what would gymnastics be without a handstand? So a couple of tips that I'm going to show you how to get into your handstand if you've never done one before, or if these are super easy for you, these are small tips and tricks that you can continuously practice that'll just make you even that much more stronger and efficient. So again, if you have a mat or something, even if you don't, find something that's soft, like a blanket, maybe a towel, and I'm actually gonna push my mat against a wall, okay? And then I'll show you what these look like onto the floor as well. So when you're up against the wall, you're facing that direction, but you're gonna be upside down. So you're gonna get pretty close to your wall, but I'm gonna be facing my wall. My hands are gonna plant a couple inches away from my wall, and I want you to practice kicking one leg up at a time until you can get both heels to touch onto that wall. So again, I'm gonna have my hands a couple inches away from my wall, 1 foot at a time. Just try to lift up until you can slightly get both of your feet onto that wall. So you can take 1 foot at a time, maybe bend your knees, but press your hands into the floor, and the same way you come out, think 1 foot at a time, and get your body to come up. Okay, so those are some things that you can practice to get yourself up into that, and then slowly just tip your toes away from the wall so you can feel what it feels like to get into that handstand, but you have something that's kind of helping you balance at the same time. But same body position when you're coming out into it. If you want to put pillows or blankets around you, it's a really good way to get practicing into it so you have a soft landing if you end up losing your balance one way or the other. So same thing, hands are going to be up overhead. You're going to take that step into it, and you're just going to practice kicking 1 foot at a time, meeting the other. Practice with both sides. So if you practice with your right foot going up first, practice with your left. You'll find things that are super easy for yourself on one side and that might not feel as comfortable on the other side. So one more time, hands are gonna lift up. You're gonna take that step forward, place both hands up, and then come back down. Think of trying to suck your legs together up at the top and really press into your hands through the floor, so that way you create that nice strong line from your fingertips to your toes, even though you're gonna be upside down. Okay, for your second event, we're gonna focus on your balance beam. If you don't have a balance beam, that's okay. I went ahead and used medical tape. You can use athletic tape, or you can use like blue painter's tape. Something that's gonna be a different color from the floor, so you can get used to what that looks like without looking down. So you kind of wanna see a color off of your peripheral vision, which just means you can kind of see it from the sides of your eyes without actually staring at it. So again, we're gonna step on to your balance beam, but we're gonna go through your salute first. So keep your legs squeezed together. Those arms are gonna go up those knees and really push that chest forward. And then you're gonna slightly step onto your balance beam. So you remember, feet one in front of the other are super, super close to each other. So we're trying to mimic that balancing from side to side on something super skinny. So from here, your first event or your first skill onto your balance beam is going to be laying down on your back. Do it gracefully. Again, act as if you were stuck on that balance beam. So I'm going to pull myself forward. I'm going to sit my hips down, and I'm going to come onto my back. So again, I'm trying to stay on that tape or trying to stay on your balance beam. You're going to lay your back all the way straight. Feet can come towards that 90-degree angle or making that full 90-degree angle. Your hands can be placed on your stomach or even by your side, so you can focus on keeping those balancing between your knee and hips, or your ankle and your hips, making that nice tall line back super, super straight. Once you come up from your 90-degree angle, we're gonna focus on a half turn on your toes. So remember, on your toes means lifting through the balls of your feet so that way my heels are coming off the ground. Again, you're on that balance beam, so whatever foot is forward, you need to turn towards your back first, which means if I'm on my left foot forward, I'm going to turn towards my right foot, lift up onto those toes. So keep your balance super, super lifted through your core, shoulders down. Your arms can be down by your side or even open up to that T. And then as you turn, you can raise them over your head and find that balance coming back down. So that's going to be your half turn. So your next one is going to be tree pose. I'm going to show you what that looks like towards the front first. So this is going to be a one leg balancing exercise. So from here, you can either put your foot onto your calf or really try to lift it up above your knee. So try not to push onto your knee. You either want to be right below or right above. And you can pick doing the right or left foot. Arms again can be out by the side or think super tall over your head, but you have to hold this for 10 seconds. So pick whatever leg you think is the strongest. So again, you're going to be on the balance beam, and whatever foot is going to be your strong foot or the easier one for you to balance on. Think tall lift through your shoulders and your core. Arms can be out by your side, either down by your ankle and your calf, or lift it up above that knee. Raise it up here, and you're gonna hold it for 10 seconds. Maybe you show us your skills and show us you can do it on both sides. Another element for your balance beam is going to be walking backwards. This is where your balance and everything really comes into play. So pick up one side to where you're more on one side of your piece of tape or your balance beam. Again, foot in front of the other. We're going to take our hands and you're going to cross them behind your back. So they're going to look like this, okay? So make sure your hands are behind your back. Think tall focus, so chin and focus out in front of you, and you're gonna take those 3 steps back. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, maybe get super clever, and we're gonna take those toe turns, and maybe go the opposite way, and go 1, 2, 3. The goal here is to still act like you're on your balance beam, so really place one foot in front of the other, or in this case, one right behind the other. Stay tall, and your hands stay behind your back. Finally, finishing touches. So you can put all those together however you would like. Right, left foot, but just think tall. Really keep your shoulders down without lifting them up into your ears. You're gonna finish with an Arabesque. So again, arms can be out by your sides into like a T motion, or you can think front and back. So if I'm facing the side, I'm really lengthening out towards the front and back part of my body with my fingertips. Again, whatever leg you think is stronger and helps you balance better, pick that leg. But we're gonna point through our back toes, so rather than pointing our toes down towards the floor, you're gonna think of pushing your toes away from each other, and you're gonna lift that back leg as much as you can. Hold for 1, 2, and then place it back down. Again, if you want to do the other leg, that's perfectly fine. Again, rather than toes flex, point them away from you. Hands can be reaching front and back. You're gonna lift it as high as you can, hold it for 1, 2, and then control it on the way back down.
Another important part of gymnastics is flexibility. We're going to test that with our next event. What you're going to do is sit down and put your feet up against the wall. You're going to have a tiny bend in your knees, and you're going to reach as far forward as you can, whether that's your knees, your shins, your toes, or the wall itself. That will be what you'll be recording for our competition piece. Our next event for gymnastics is going to be the tuck jump. We're going to start with our feet shoulder width apart on a surface that's a little bit softer, such as carpet or grass. We're going to start our timer for 30 seconds and do as many tuck jumps as you can. A tuck jump is just bringing your knees up as high as you can, landing softly, and continuing that. Our last event for gymnastics will be calf raises. You're going to stand with your feet shoulder width apart. I'm holding onto a wall. You can use a chair if you want to, or you don't hold on to anything. You're going to start your timer for 30 seconds and lift up onto your toes as many times as you can, remembering to lower your heels back down.
Those are all your gymnastics exercises and practice videos. Please come back and check this page for your training so you can just keep getting better. We can't wait to see you on June 22nd, and thank you so much again for joining us.